Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at FTP, the file transfer protocol. We'll start off by looking at a few Nmap scans we can run for enumeration, the lab setup, what we'll be using today. We'll look at anonymous logins, brute forcing. I'll also show you some traffic sniffing so we can see the clear text credentials and data going across the network. So before we get into the Nmap scan, I suppose we want to have a quick talk about what FTP actually is. It's basically one of the oldest ways computers share files over a network. It's simple, it works, but it does have its problems. Everything is sent in plain text, username, passwords, and file contents. So basically this means that anybody sitting on a network sniffing the traffic can view whatever's going across the network. It can also be misconfigured, which I'll show you later on some config files, and if it is misconfigured, then it can allow anonymous logins, so you don't even need a password to actually get into some of it. We'll also take a look at that. And there is an Nmap script for that. The script's called FTP anon, so it obviously checks for anonymous logins. So let's jump straight into it. I've got VMware running. We've got Kali Linux on one machine and the Ubuntu server on the other. This is running the FTP server. So we've got a few files in the serve FTP location that I've added. And I've also set up a user account with a very weak password, so that we can test the brute forcing. We need to get the IP of the other machine first. This is running on 217.133. Specify port 21 because we know that's what it's running on. Okay, that came back pretty much instantly. Logged as FTP. So yeah, you can see the FTP anon script running. Anonymous FTP login allowed. So basically that means we can log into this without a password. So let's try that. So FTP, IP address. So you get the name prompt. So let's try anonymous. Password, no password, just press enter. And there we go. LS to view the files. And there's the files that I showed you earlier. So using FTP, we're basically logging into this machine to access these files. And in this case, we've done it without even signing in. Check the help to see what commands we've got. It's loads. We can get files. So if we got, let's get readme.txt. Tab for auto completion as well, which is nice. And similar to SMB and the SMB client tool, wherever we spawn the FTP command tool and download files, it will download to that location. So as I've spawned it from the base location of this user, it will be in here somewhere. Readme.txt, there it is. So yeah, from here on, you could just navigate it. So our user doesn't have the permission to make any directories, and there is no directories to move through because these are all just files. Can we put anything? See if we can put that file.txt up there. Jump back into the anonymous session. Permission denied. So we can list files and we can download files and move around the directory structure, but we can't do anything else as an anonymous user. I mean, this is still dangerous. This is still a bad finding, and you'd want to secure this straight away. One way of actually doing that, I can show you if you are running your own server, FTP server, is if we check the etc. So looking at this file, is where it's basically the config file for this version of FTP that I'm running. And down here, anonymous enable, yeah. So if we put that to disabled, let's do it. Let's actually do it. I'll have to jump out of this and nano into that, or sudo into that, sorry. Save and exit. Restart the service. Try it again. So this time, yeah, it's not let us in, which is good. Excellent. So now we've got the FTP user that's signing as him, or try to sign in. Name, FTP user, password, don't know it. Or say we didn't know it. Press enter for a blank password, login fail, so we're able to do that. We could brute force this with Hydra. So Hydra's a brute forcing tool. Used a -L for the username, P for the word list, and then the IP address specifying FTP as a protocol. And there you go, just found it basically straight away. Another tool we could use is Medusa. Slightly different syntax this time. It's -U for the username, P for the word list, -H for the IP, and M for FTP. Let's try that one. A bit slower, but still did it. Still found it in there. User, FTP user, password. So let's, now we know that, sign in. Okay. And then here we get some different files. But we can get files. Let's get file.txt. You shouldn't be here. So yeah, that's how we brute force it. I want to look at the clear text traffic like I mentioned earlier. So if we run TCP dump, actually let me just quickly check my interface. Is it EFO? Yes. So you need the interface on which the traffic's on, which is this one, because it's on the same network as that. Clear that. TCP dump. -I for the interface. Port 21. Run that sudo. Now that's listening for anything on port 21. So if we do that again, FTP that. But this time we'll put a more obvious password in so we can actually see it in the output. Okay. And even there you can see it in the output on this screen here. That so the password I entered there was "Can you see me?" So yeah, FTP, not brilliant to use, not secure. And if you can sniff a network or an attacker is sitting on the network sniffing it, they can just extract clear text credentials, which is a big no-no. So if you can, use SFTP, which runs over SSH instead. And if you wanted to change the default port that it's running on, you would open the config file back up. And type in listen_port equals to the port number you want. So just for demonstration, I've done 7821. You'd save, exit, restart the service. And now if we go back to the Kali machine, run that nmap scan again, it shouldn't work because it won't be running on port 21. Closed FTP. So yeah, it's not running on that port, but if we specified the port of 7821, then there we go. Also check in here to make sure it is. So yeah, we can see here, running on TCP, listening, port 7821. So yeah, that's how we enumerate FTP and run some attacks against it. Also showed you as well how to make some configuration changes to make it a bit more secure. And also, if you can, like I say, run SFTP instead, or something like SCP over SSH to transfer files. If you can help it, don't use FTP because it's in clear text. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.